Welcome home. Welcome home. Hi, you guys. I'm so happy to be with y'all again. Let's do it. Let us do it. I'm so excited about this. I am so excited about this. My God. Who cried? Who cried? Welcome to the dissection of Black is King. I do need to I want to adjust something. I want to make sure. Sorry guys, don't pay attention to that. Okay. Because we need setting. Okay, we need setting. Don't be throwing off all right, let's do it. What's up, so iconic? Kaylin, Ellie, LB, Mark, Leslie, Cassia. We are going to have some new patrons in the room too, so I'm super excited. We're going to see some names that'll be new to us. Hi, Teen. Hey, Maya. Maya's new. She just joined. Glad to have you here. We're going to have a good time, okay? This is the Black is King dissection. I am going all verbal today because to build the visual, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and I didn't have it in me. But you're still gonna get this information. Also, hi Ayala. Hi Iana. Also, there will be a ton of singing in this video. And I'm not sorry. Like, I don't know what you want. We're going to be talking about the music. We're going to be talking about the colors. We're going to be talking about the fashion. We're going to be talking about the layers, the meanings. I'm going to be tuning in with you guys. How are we going to do it without music? How? It's impossible. So just put your seatbelts on. Get comfortable. And let's do it, all right? You guys have some time. This is gonna take some time. Settle in, get real comfortable. Let's put our brains on, okay? I'm gonna be checking in with y'all. A Black H says, I have a very specific hang up or two that's prevented me from investing much in Black is King, but I'm here for your dissection. Well, you know what? Nonetheless, I thank you for being here, Mark. You know, I know there's a huge conversation, which I personally partook in, about Beyonce being a capitalist, associating royalty and wealth with having value to Blackness, overbearing displays of it to communicate that Black people do have value. And I know it's a conversation. We're not doing it here. We're not going to do it here. Let us start. Are we ready? So excited. Hi, CJ. Okay. Very first line of the film. Hi, Tariq. I'm not king yet. I know I have the capabilities. I don't know how to navigate. Now, we're going to have some division here, and I'll explain why. Black is King is the message for Black people to come back to origin. And specifically, if that conversation is for Black Americans, a lot of Black Americans disassociate from the message that we need to go home. We need to connect back to our roots and the idea that we're lost. All right. Black Americans, through the transatlantic slave trade, the water, right, got disconnected from their spirituality, their tongue, their culture, their tribes, their name. Everything that was in our DNA we got disconnected from, and we had to build it again once we landed on American soil. And the soils across the nations. We stopped in the Caribbean. We stopped in South America. We stopped in so many places. But I also want to start here by saying this is going to be the filmmaker's eye dissection. There is a great thread on Twitter by Earth Tones, EARF Tones, who breaks down the religious meanings, the cultural meanings, the African diaspora of the land and the tribe meanings. That won't be here. That's going to be on Twitter. What this is strictly the film and the messaging and the layers from that. And so the idea that because Black Americans are here, we got lost or we lost our culture, that feels very offensive to a lot of Black Americans. And I can understand why, especially because Black Americans take pride in creating the culture that we did. We had nothing, you gave us nothing, and we still ended up being one of the most popularly used and infiltrated and culturally relevant people of the world. That's facts. So, you know, a lot of us don't like feeling like there should be shame and we ain't home. We had to make a home, and a lot of us are very proud of that. So I just wanted to start off by saying that, but right after this quote, we get paired with a baby boy traveling down a river. Some nods to Moses, the biblical story, him trying to escape death, and his birth is by the water. This is our starting point to the circle of life. And we get into one of my favorite songs. Let love be the water. I pour into you and you pour into me. There ain't no drought here. Bigger. I feel like I'm the only one screaming from the rooftops about the greatness of this song. Is it me? Is it only me? You just don't know yet. You just don't know yet. No matter how hard it gets, you got my blood in you, and you're gonna rise. Wow. Wow. Ellie Luna says Stacey Barth. Ellie Luna done dab. She's in the music industry, so she know people. Stacey Barth. Whew. My God. And at the song of Bigger, connecting the universe to the magnitude of your presence at wherever you are, whoever you are already magnificent. Think bigger, get out of the limitations of your mind. You are here, and this is where we start the birth, and we are joined by several people that we need to attend to. The king, Beyonce herself. On first watch, I missed it. This is it focuses on Simba, it focuses on Scar, but the women are so present. I'm like, okay, where's Mufasa? Beyonce's Mufasa. Excuse me. The king, Beyonce, taking gender off that title. The king, she is. We are joined by the elders, and of course we are joined by the ancestor, that beautiful Black person painted in blue, color of the sky, color of the water. The ancestor joining you from your travels down to earth. Woo! We have another quote here: history in your future. Where you've been is where you're going. Where you're going is where you came. All right. This is the circle of life. And a Black man, his voice is asking how to navigate. That's from your identity. That's where you're from. That's your roots. How can you be something if you don't know where you started, right? And being from, I am a Black American, having our history be eradicated, I guess the question for us was not how to navigate, because we just had to redevelop. We just created a new plan. But we can also question, do we want to take the choice and figuring out and learning those roots back there? If we could. Obviously, the documents have been closed, burned, and sealed. Thank you, colonizers. What a gift. Let's get into our next song. Find your way back. Big, big world, but you got it, baby. Find your way back. Don't like this life, drive crazy. Find your way back. Come back home when the street lights on. Mother and Simba are separated. And you can see that they're still connected because they're reflecting each other wearing the same clothes. The baby boy, Simba, is in his decked out diamond blazer. Mama's in the desert, somewhere else. Get yourself back home, somewhere else. But dressed in this black diamond look, right? And no matter where you are, I am you, you are me, we reflect each other. I'm always, always, always with you. Bring home with you. There's a lot of times where we have our past generations forgotten. They go on unknown. There's a disconnect in identity. But when you remember, you arrive. And we have the king. We have the king dressed as the stars and all those diamonds reflecting the galaxy, literally dancing on the galaxy, right? She's her ancestors are reflected in her as her son is reflected in her. Being positioned in front of the moon. Are y'all emotional yet? Because it's happening here. Are y'all emotional yet? And this is just one of those really humbling moments. And I've had this moment, my sister had this moment for herself, where you really come to realize that your parents are not going to be here forever. And so much heart and love to the people who've already experienced it and already lost their parents. But there's this moment where you realize your parents are preparing to transcend. At some point, you have to do it on your own, right? That was them raising you to be well without them, because it's going to happen one day. But before they do, before they transcend, you must remember that only the body leaves. Stars, galaxy, in the moon, they're always, always, always here. Jealous me. Jealous, don't you come for me. Don't you jealous me. Hey, don't you come for me. Hey. Sheep don't swim with lion. Hey, snake don't think with monkey. I can't talk for too long. Got too much gold to try on. I've been standing this album since last summer, and I had no one to talk about it with. Don't you jealous me. And we have a quote here that says, if you don't leave, you will be led astray, right? Who are you? Who are you? There are times I know I have gone through where you forget and you start dabbling in these really dark forces, right? Simba is finding his independence. He's finding his own identity. And the moment you don't connect it to what has grounded you here, you can get lost. So we see Simba faltering to the dark side. Scar infiltrating his mind, infiltrating his lifestyle, tempting him. Money, gambling, women, right? You can have these temporary looks. It's a look. And if you notice, the king is in the room, not interacting, not controlling it, not getting in the way, because with freedom comes the test. I have to see if you're going to be okay without me, but I'm still always here if you need. She's in the back, but she never interacts, right? Overlooking, but never intervene. Sheep don't run with lion, snake don't run with monkey. Align with the things that reflect your identity. What you with monkeys for if you a snake? Those ain't your people. Those are not your values. That's not what you were raised on. That's not reflective of who you are. Stay in your lane, please. Please stay in your lane. And we start to see the color red here. Gang, gang, Scar gang. All right. All these beautiful black boys shining in red. And I'm going to get deeper into that color with Scar, because there's a big thing happening here with the colors, and it gets really, it's my bag. This is like perfectly aligned in my bag. So we're watching Simba fall astray, choose the darkness, and falter from where he came. Jessie Reyez makes an appearance on the album twice, but this time with Scar, which is a dark, beautiful, painful song. We have our red motorcycles running around Simba, reflecting the stampede that killed Mufasa in the original Lion King film that Disney produced and distributed. But we saw something here too. We saw something here too. Beyonce dancing with that snake, right? Being betrayed. Dancing with the snakes. Being betrayed by Scar. How dare you take my son? How dare you take my son? And he's no longer dressed like the king. He's now dressed like Scar. Simba is dressing like Scar. We chose something. Not the right choice, right? Scar is starting to reflect in Simba instead of the king. He forgot a little bit. And this is where I knew Beyonce was Mufasa, was the king. Yeah, CJ, Jessie Reyez is on Scar, and she's on I'll get to it. Yeah, I think she was in the film once, but she's on 2 of the songs. But I'll get to it. I'll remember like once we get there. I took a swim in the Nile, and I swam, and I never came down. Hey little birdie, where you going? I'm not sure. I'm gonna run it till the ocean. This ain't regular. This ain't regular. The Nile. No true king ever dies. Ever dies. And we head back to the river. This is where we see Beyonce transitioning and becoming an ancestor. And I want to pay attention to the fashion. She was wearing a white dress on the shores of the water at the birth of Simba. When he transcends from the galaxy into the physical realm, she's wearing a white dress to celebrate his birth. We see this white dress make an appearance again when she transcends. And they wear white in this culture because funerals are not of mourning and death of an ending. It's a celebration. You're going back to the ancestors. So the king hasn't died. She's being reborn into an ancestor. And she's wearing the same white dress, celebrating her own birth. I can't. And we will see this dress through various points of the film, which I will bring to your attention as well. We see the same flowers when Simba was born to the flowers that the body lays on, the king's body lays on, that coffin, traveling down in the tombs, right? Same flowers, because it's still all a celebration. We are often by large bodies of water, often referenced as a portal between this living realm and the spiritual realm, which is why water is important. If whoever's out there with your ancestral altars, mine is right here. They don't like when I take the water, but mine is right here. You keep water. It's a portal for messages. It's a portal for communication between you and your ancestors. Very powerful. Whenever they decide to galaxy to earth, they're always by water in this film. We see Beyonce sitting on that lake in a boat full of flowers, literally resting on the transition between her 2 planes, until we get back into the tombs where she's physically in the coffin being carried again on another bed of flowers. And this is where the transition is complete, where she is laid to rest. And it's a celebration. Don't fret. Because even though her body is in that tomb, the king remained throughout the entire film, never, ever, ever leaving you. And that's for all of us. That is absolutely for all of us. We have a quote that appears, when it's all said and done, I don't even know my native tongue. And if I can't speak myself, I can't think myself. And if I can't think myself, I can't be myself. But if I can't be myself, I will never know me. I'm gonna just let that one sit in the air. Yes, Adita, Jesse Reyes is on my power. All right, let's come back in. This is where we see Simba crossing into a new world, leaving home, right? Hakuna Matata. Like, I don't know. I just gotta like kind of make it out here. I only been out here like 3 days. I don't really know. But as he's crossing, as he's being led by strange friends, people that do not reflect his identity. You know, he's a snake running with a lion. Sheep don't swim with monkeys. He's hanging out with all these different animals, and we completely lose our identity. But don't miss it. As he's traveling down in this cheetah car to his new world, the king and the ancestor on the road, 2 ancestors, you upgraded. You have 2 ancestors now, okay? Forever, forever and ever, 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 forever and ever. Time to break the beat down. Mood forever. The black version of Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata found dead. Where? Where? Hakuna Matata where? It's mood forever. Oh my gosh. Now, I did see someone decipher that this is a dream plane. Because Simba is in pain, he's dreaming of the most perfect world because he's running from facing that. I have a different take, and it's a wild one, but I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna be wrong, I'll be wrong and loud and proud. But here's what I think this is. I don't think this is Simba's dream. I think this is the king fully living in heaven. This is the king's heaven. This is the party. This is the most perfect existence in the spiritual realm, and they're still connected because they have their spirits. Your spirit is still linked. Just because I'm not physically here doesn't mean I still can't connect to you. So they share the mood blinders. Come meet me in your dreams. When Nipsey Hussle died, the first thing his baby boy said, and his baby must have been 6. His baby is tiny, 5 or 6 years old. The baby said, I saw my dad in my dream and he spoke to me. First time I can reconnect to my lost mother is through my dream. They share the mood sleeper, reflecting Simba's donned in pink. The king wakes up donned in pink, right? They met. It's the white servants for me. It's the white servants for me. What's up, Janae? I'm gonna get back to this chessboard, but the servant is holding Jay-Z's chessboard so he can play. He can just make a move. We're brushing the king and Samba, the king and Simba's grills. We have a servant holding Beyonce's long blue coat as she's going nowhere. I'm just gonna go make circles in the backyard because I can, and you have to hold it up for me. Kasia says, I didn't understand why people were so upset. Aren't butlers often white to other white people? The offense is because they're serving black folk and not supposed to look like that. They ain't supposed to look like that. Okay. And I want to pay attention to this beautiful blue coat, representative of her being an ancestor. And the answer. When we met the ancestor, he's covered in blue. Beyonce doesn't necessarily don herself in blue, but she has these blue fashion items to let you know I still have work to do. I'm up here having a good time, but my eyes are always on my son. Don't play. Do not play, okay? And in death, that it means no worries for the rest of your days. She has no worries where she's at. In death, she's good, all right? She's good. And even if you were lost, even if you cannot quite find your way, the ancestors are always, always, always with you. How do we know? We end on that TV dinner and she's literally watching his life on TV. I can see you. Don't worry. I can see you. I'm still here. Having the best time of my life. Here is my big take. Jay-Z is portraying God. Here's why. When Jay-Z walks in and he joins Beyonce in heaven, the first thing he does is make a chess move, right? And when he's rapping, he finishes his verse and he dings chess. He plays chess. So we go out to the garden and we have black folks dressed half in dark, half in light on a chessboard, literally moving and altering their bodies. Moving and altering their bodies. And we have this quote about dark and about duality of good and evil. It's not always a battle, Jay-Z says. It's a conversation. There's darkness in heaven. We need to use all of it. We need all of it. God doesn't operate in light blindness. There's a balance. There's darkness in the plane too because you need it. Here's how I'm gonna really F you up. Here's how I'm gonna really F you up. Jay-Z is playing chess pieces because no matter what good or bad happens to you, it's in the divine plan. Those pieces are for your best fate. Hello? So as he's moving chessboards, the black people in the back are moving. Ancestors protecting, going along with God's plan. Thank you. Thank you. Jada, jada, hey. Jada, jada, hey. We got to turn into a man. Come on, Simba. We done grew up. Jada, jada, hey. Jada, jada. Adult Simba wakes up at night. The light is gone and the darkness has set in. The dark does not hurt you as a part of the divine plan. I know where you're at. I can still see you. I can still see you. But he wakes up in the darkness. The light is gone. Okay? We lose all color. Janae said, bitch, did we watch the same film? Janae. All the beautiful, bright, vibrant colors that we've been watching this whole time, it melts away, doesn't it? Everything is kind of bland and flat, and Simba has lost the light. The vibrancy is gone. He is totally disconnected from his identity, his home, where he came from, his roots. He's totally lost. But we meet a friend who's wearing a red hat, who gets in a red car covered with red lights. Scar has totally taken over the influence. And here's where I will go a step further. God needs a, not needs, but God has a, what's the word I would like to use? Adversary. God has an adversary. And I believe Scar in this film is playing two roles at once. The evil uncle on the human plane, but he's also representative of the devil, demonic forces infiltrating Simba. And of course, Simba is a link to a message to black people and black men. The things that we get infiltrated by, the dark forces that we get infiltrated by. And he's having fun, hanging out of the car, hits us with a formation, lean out the window. And though it looks like he is going for a joyride, he does not realize he's riding around in a hearse. Your death is my death, your birth is my birth, G. He doesn't even realize he's riding around in a hearse. You're having a fast ride to your death with that big smile on your face. But don't fret. Why? Look right behind you. The king is in the back riding with you, dressed in the stars of the galaxy, protecting you, not being seen, not being heard, not infiltrating the plan. This is all a part of the plan. Your pain is a part of the plan to your awakening and your arrival back home. She was right in the back seat the entire time. All right? And we can see the reflection of Scar's infiltration from the move the cars make. We saw when the king transcended with the motorcycles going in circles, doing donuts around Simba. And now Simba becomes a part of that darkness, doing donuts in this red car, recreating the wound that killed him, recreating it. There's so many times that we get so hurt and lost in our darkness. We can take the wheel now. I don't need the external things to perform my wound. I can do it myself. And a lot of us have done that. LB said the party hearse shook me. So Iconic says, if you notice, they showed the back, but she wasn't there. But in the other shot, she was. So powerful. So she was there the entire time. Right. Not visible from our plane, but she knows she's there. She absolutely knows she's there. And of course, his friend with that red hat turns into Scar, and Scar reveals himself. Okay? And even though it looks like you're in danger, even though you have to run, you saw this figure climbing on the hood of the car. Before Simba escapes back to safety, we saw a symbol. I can't name the specific tribe, but I saw a few months ago that garb, that getup is a spiritual soldier almost, and they do this tribal dance and they celebrate, and it's to call the spirits into protection. So while it appears that Simba is in danger, the devil's right here in the car with him, Scar's right here in the car with him, that angel done climbed up right on that hood and said, try me. Hurt Simba who? Scar didn't lay a finger on him, I tell you that. I tell you that. Simba was scared and in fear, but Scar didn't lay a finger on him. Not our child that we watch over and protect. And you see the wide shot, Simba leaving the car, the angel is gone. We cannot see the angel, but the angel is there to assist, to protect. Okay? We have another quote, living without reflection for so long might make you wonder if you even truly exist. And this just confirms Simba's lost in the world. Identity is no identity, right? We have Simba waking up again, ancestors covering their eyes up in the tree. And sometimes you can fall away for so long that the connection, the conscious connection, is lost. They can't see each other, they can't speak to each other. There's a blockage there. And so many of us have had blockages with our ancestors because we didn't even know to come to them. We didn't even know to commune with them. We had no idea. It was stripped from us. So let's get back. Let's reconnect. Let's rediscover that connection, right? Let's be the spiritual children of the people who've come before us and live a thankless life. Thank them every day. Thank them, thank them, thank them. Long live the king, you the king already. King already, and the king already. Shine already. It's time already. It's time already. It's time already. Oh, yeah. King already. Simba is being influenced to find home and reclaim his identity. You dropped your crown. I don't like when that neck bent like that. I don't like when that neck bent like that. And we see Beyonce for the first time, body painted in blue, sitting up in that ancestral tree, serving body after how many? All three of them kids. Excuse me? All three of them kids? In the video, she don't have to be in blue all the time, but we see this dance with the ancestors in front and her right in the back moving in sync. They're one and the same. They go in the same places. They go in the same places, okay? We see her in blue fashion when we have all these black men dancing and the ancestors right there in the party like, I got y'all. Wild out if you want to, I got y'all. And she shows up next dressed in that blue turquoise long jeweled coat, being the ancestor as well. And I want to make a point here because I know the capitalism conversation was huge, but I do want to attend to the fact that there absolutely are images of everyday Black people in this film, overlaid with the quotes of being kings, being reflections of God. There are absolutely everyday people, and we see it starting right here and continuing throughout the film. No matter who you are, what you have, you're the king already. And that applies to everyone, as Beyonce, as a woman, is representative of the king in this film. You are king already. Pick that neck up, okay? Man. CJ says, I'm going to go ahead and say that I didn't fully appreciate already, even though you were always singing it until I got the visuals. Well, welcome. Better late than never, okay? Better late than never. Welcome to the good side, all right? We have here again Beyonce dressed as a moon. Is that off-white, that moon jumpsuit that everybody's wearing? The little moons. She's still representing being of the galaxy, being of the universe. She's crawling, and we get this overlay shot of her crawling, dressed in flowers, representative of those flowers Simba slept in, representative of the flowers her body was laid to rest in, the flowers that ushers her from this physical to the spiritual, dressed as those flowers. That little moon jumpsuit everybody got. And Adele was wearing it too when she took a picture, and they had the same thing on. All right. We see the ancestors dancing amongst the crowds of Black men. They have never, never, never left us. Remember who you are with the shot of the Pan-African flag calling for the bridge of Blackness. No matter what culture, what nationality, can we come together in love and respect? Is this encouragement for Black Americans to return home? Questions I will leave you with. Okay, thank you, Ellie Luna. Oh, it just went away. I don't know why that was. Maybe you deleted it. Okay, you said Marine something up with the designer, but I missed it. Okay. Here's a quote that I really love. I can't be a child of God and not see myself as a God. That doesn't make any sense. My daddy told me this a long time ago. He said, people are missing the fact that one of the first things the Bible says is that God made us in his image. It don't mean your nose. We all got different noses. It don't mean like your body, like it don't mean like physicality. Because God is not defined by a physicality. It's what we look like. We're just cases holding something bigger inside. That is the reflection of God. And that is a reflection that has been shown in the fashions between the king and Simba. It don't make no sense. You made us in your image, the power that we have. You slept on yourself. You slept on yourself. When we see Simba being encouraged to come back home, he finally regains his crown, but the throne remains empty. He does not sit in it. It's a mindset before it begins to exist in the physical. You haven't manifested the seat in that throne yet, but we're coming for it because you put your crown on. You put your crown on, and now we know where we're going. Now we know where we're going. And he sits as he puts his crown on his head and playing chess align with the moon. Stepping into the plan that God made for him all that time ago. Playing chess in front of the moon amongst the galaxy. With an elder who also wears a crown. Know who you are, reflect each other. Get your spirit back home. Stop playing. Stop playing. The divine plan for his life, God was making the moves back when he was a child. And he aligns with the plan now. Let's talk about the shift. Enter the women. Bring in the women. We have a quote, many times, and a Black man is saying this, many times it's the women that reassemble us. So why would I hire a man to play the king? I'm the king, Beyonce says. I'm the king. Men forgot themselves when they forgot the women. And let's say that point blank and clear. You don't even know who you are because who you are is dependent on disrespecting me. So in breaking me, you are breaking yourself. When you play me, don't hurt yourself. You forgot who you are because you're too busy trying to hurt me. You played yourself. Okay? When they remember us, they will fall back into the fullness of their identity. Nala doesn't even enter Simba's life until he gets to this point. Nala is not even welcomed in his life. Nala doesn't even enter his life until he puts the crown on and steps back into his identity. That's when you get a Nala. See, when you was out there in Scars Land wanting to play with those faceless, confetti face bad bitches, and you was trying to put on that gold chain and do the gambling with the boys in your red shoes, wasn't no Nalas down there. Let's be clear. And I was wondering in the first watch, I was like, where's Nala? Where's like the mom? Where's like all these other people? Nala doesn't arrive until Simba puts his crown on first. Try me. We have a quote. You're swimming back to yourself. You meet yourself at the shore. The coast belongs to the ancestors. And this obviously is representative of all the Black people dispersed from the African continent where we were broken. The water broke us apart. It broke our family apart, right? We were divided by the water. We see an ancestor, our blue ancestor, walk back into the water where many of our ancestors, their spirits are stuck, or that was their transition point from the boats back up for where they came, right? We see Beyonce, the king, floating back in that boat on the lake, that boat full of flowers, that floral bed, laying between the birth and the death of us. And the quote also goes in and says, water represents life, hope, purity, and the ability to be reborn. We think of baptism, the cleansing that water provides, right? And we get into water. The love. Okay, how does water go? I know I was gonna forget one song in here. I was like, while I'm talking, I'm gonna forget. But we get to water, and I'm gonna be mad that I forgot how it go. Anyway, okay. We enter the song Water. Oh, with Pharrell. And I drink from your water, baby girl. And I drink from your water, and I let to the rhythm. Till the sun is high and the water runs dry. They need to meet it more. I drink. There it goes. There it goes. Ooh, that song feels so good. And we see these images of women feeding villages, bringing life, the life force, carrying these water bowls on their head, worn like crowns, serving purpose, giving life. Women being the extension of water. Baby, we are your life source. When you get rid of me, you die. You can't live without water, right? And this is juxtaposed with Nala in that beautiful fuchsia satin gown on that horse, riding on deserted land. This relationship is symbiotic. As much water as women got, sometimes we need to be fed as well. Nala was riding, first seen on desert land, heading to a king. Okay? And when she enters Simba's life, she gains his ancestors. The king and the ancestor that were protecting and watching over Simba now cover her as well. Don't miss that. Okay? Do not miss that. She gained more protection by joining his forces. And we see the king, Beyonce, standing elongated, those waterfall braids being the water. Those, how long y'all think them braids are? 30 feet. 30 feet bangs. Bangs. Braid, not a bang yang, not a bang yang. Those braids becoming the water. Baby girl, and I think all you want to, and it sun is out and the water runs high. All right, we have another quote. Black men are told especially we're not supposed to love ourselves. I'm supposed to hate you. Paired with a group of black men dressed down in these two-piece red suits, groomed with the evil, groomed to hate, groomed to divide, right? Not realizing that they were infiltrated. Not realizing that they were infiltrated. This part right here is when I just about broke down. The king and the ancestors fully give themselves to Nala, and we watch her prepare for the wedding to marry Simba. Brown skin girl, you're the best thing in the world. I cried so hard, y'all. The first watch, I cried so hard. My God. Beyonce has given black women love letters before. Not allergies, so iconic. Black women have given Beyonce has given black women love letters before, but this was ethereal. This was grand scale. This was the maximum. Love displayed from women to women on each other. And their beauty displayed in Black American culture. This is the bridging the gap between continental African cultures and Black American cultures, how Black beauty was celebrated on this soil with the debutante balls, right? Debutante balls also being heavily known for its colorism, right? But we see these Black men walking these Black girls into the ball and they bow to each other. Let this love be symbiotic. Let's pour into each other. They bow to each other, mutual respect. We have images of Black women passing down generational lessons. The patty cake, from elder to youth. The lessons I've learned, I hand right down to you. We have to be careful what we teach our daughters as women. What lessons are you giving her in love, in life, in self-value? We have the inclusion of dark Asian girls, Indian girls, who experience extreme colorism where they're from. They don't ever get no representation or no love. LB says, my eyes were sweating. That hug between Beyonce and Kelly, that was the one. That was the one. That was the one. And just giving this moment to her friend. Giving this moment to her friend. This is about you. Naomi Campbell, model Adut was there. Lupita, the Black Mexican God. Okay. That was one of the most beautiful things I've seen. And then of course, Boo Ivy ending it with her flowers. Best skin just like pearl, best thing in the world. Never trade you for anybody else singing. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Oh, I can't. You're the key to the kingdom. All you gotta read me is all what's inside. You're the king to the kingdom. You're the king. You are the sun and the moon shine for you. But you don't open your eyes. Keys to the kingdom. Black men dressed as white colonizers or in front of my salad? Not them colonial, dusty, treaty ass wigs. Not these wigs on. Oh, please. Sitting right behind, stoically, unemotionally, like blinded soldiers in front of this liberated African dancer who I learned as well passed away this April. She was a famous dancer, on her side of the pond, and we lost her back in April. So to see that one final performance from such a liberated, incredible continental African woman just doing it, daring right in front of these colonized minds. Woo! Woo! You are the king to the you're the key to the kingdom. Choose your liberation. Unlock the door. Walk through it. Be the magnificence. Join me. We ain't gotta live like this no more. Do and perform your liberation. We have Black women wearing colonized wigs while they're braiding African hair. Of the mind of the colonizer while braiding Black hairstyles. But she saved one. Right at the end of the song was a Black man wearing a colonizer wig, but joining her in the dance. He's unlocked the key. Joining her. He gonna get it. That wig gonna come up soon. He's in transition. We gonna wait for him. He gotta take the wig off, but at least he's here. He's dancing. He's discovered something. He got woke. Literally, what the Get Woke movement was. There's still so many things to unlearn, but we found something, and we're banking on it. All right. Simba and Nala get married. He's wearing the cheetah print suit that the king wears in heaven. Very much aligned with his spirituality, very much realigned with identity, very much realigned with his roots, welcoming his queen back into the kingdom. And the king is wearing white while celebrating, and we see the wedding party dancing in a circle, right? We're still bringing that circle of life. Simba is made a new man. He's realigned with his path, and he has to go and recreate the traditions with the roots that he's been raised on. We have a quote here: "The king and the queen that treat each other as equal is how the ancestors used to do it. It's the African way. It's up to you to leave a legacy for others to find hope." Passing those general lessons down. It's the circle of life. Child of dust, return to the river. We see a sandstorm coming. As the village is fleeing and running for protection, you've been without the nourishment of your ancestors and lineage and traditions for centuries. Come drink. Come drink. And this reminds me of the divine plan. When we saw that baby going down the river, we thought the child was in danger, right? Our original thought is that there's a child in there and it's in danger. But this is the reveal of the divine plan, that being on that river during a sandstorm, heading to the water, was that child's salvation. It was the saving. And what can look like danger when it's guided by the ancestors and by the divine protection is the salvation. And Beyonce crying and walking that basket to the river, I couldn't do it. And because I knew this is my absolute favorite song on the album, The Other Side, that imagery paired with that song was too much for your homeboy. Okay? It was too much. You will leave me, you will see me on the other side. Far away, far away. Who can do the deep note? I can't get down there. What an incredible song. Like it moved me without visuals. But paired with that, I was broken. I crumbled. I cried so hard for the second time. And we can see this ancestor, the king, is saving a child from the dust storm, dressed the same color as the dust. Okay, Mark says Other Side was a highlight of the whole thing for me, album and film. Ellie says boo-hooed on that part. And later when the basket appears, we can see this ancestor, the same color as the dust. This is the plan. And she's wearing the blue earring to remind you, I am the ancestor and I am the plan, right? Are Black men groomed to a future without their essence? Are Black men fighting this dust storm? Do they lack the nourishment? Do they lack the connection that the water brings? And what appears, again, for a child to be abandoned and endangered in the beginning turns out to be the plan for his salvation. And this is representative of Simba, how he's gotten lost. Simba has always been, from the moment he lost the king, he's always been that abandoned boy into his adulthood. And the physical disconnection he had from the king causes his spiritual disconnection with his identity. He was always that lost boy inside. You're trying to maneuver the world as a man and thinking you got it all together because you're spending money or you got married or you got this, but that little boy is still screaming for something inside. And we see him dive into the water, get his nourishment. He is cleansed. He is healed. He is reborn. His right to the throne is confirmed when he gets that token again in his hand. The key to the kingdom falls into the water with you. You align back with your past. He presents it to the elder in gratitude and rises. Who do I have to fight? Like who? He gives his token to the elder in gratitude and rises. You're gonna rise. You're part of something way bigger. You're part of way bigger. The film's color returns. Simba's wound is welcomed by the ancestors as the baby finds them at the other end of the river. Now that you know who you are, now that you know your identity, now that you've risen to the occasion, hand your wound over to me. The baby arrives safely at the end of the river, right into the arms of the ancestors who are all dressed in white. Another rebirth. Welcome home. Let's celebrate. Hand that wound over to me. And Simba can now greet his ancestors in fullness and light as a healed man. You'll never take my power, my power, my power. You will never take my power. Why did I just mess that up? Ew, that was so ugly. I was always in the league. Beautye. Always in the vein. E. I'm tired of being honest. First of being honest. I don't believe honest. I don't being honest. I can't do her rap. Tierra Whack. Jessie Reyes. Who else was in there, y'all? I mean, iconic. It's time for war. You were made from the heat of the universe. African women grinding the earth to protect their hair and to style their hair. We have women preparing to go to war with Simba on the earth and in the ancestral plane. The ancestors are coming to war with you. Your women down here are coming to war with you. Ellie says the spiritual nuck if you buck. He is joined by the ancestors, and I found it incredible that they're using the elements of the universe to give them power so that he will absolutely win. We use the soil to cover the women so they can be prepared on their skin and on their hair. He uses the water to heal, earth to protect, and of course we saw Mama King dancing in that fire. Right in the fire, and that red confetti dress. I'm bringing the earth, the water, the fire to be with you, because we are going to win with you. This video, My Power, is reimagining the strength. The ancestors dancing in the tombs. You've awakened us and we're here with you. Let's go to war, right? Reimagining strength of women, pregnant women, children, little blue. You are my power, my power, my power. We have elder women. We have fat women. Strength shown in all angles. Masu, got up and nobody masa. Got much to do better than that. Okay, I didn't do that. That's just disrespectful to language. I don't want to do that. That's disrespectful. Let's move on. Simba wins. Scar is defeated. He didn't even catch those hands. He ran like the coward that he is. What's up? I don't want to see them red eyes no more. Get out of here. Yes, we can talk about the choreography. Mark, what you want to talk about? They feel away. Oh wow. They feel away. Oh wow. Oh my. This that rhythm, this that lightning, this that burn, this ain't no perm, this that nappy, this that urge, this that kimbo, this that tempo, this that war, this that bloodline, on the front line, ready for war, where you gonna run? Get loose, get low, get low, gonna get loose, get low. Oh, are we done now? Better protect my brain, let me go in the same, my power to never take. Woo! Ellie Luna says choreo, Ebony Williams and Kenny Diabate. Are you Googling as we're going, Ellie? Are you doing that? CJ says my rewind button broke. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Powerful, and they're all warriors going to war with Simba. What's up? When they did this in the weird live action version, I noticed that it was very intentional for them to put the lionesses in the war too. Like the lionesses don't goddamn hunt. Who are you playing? Try me again. Simba retakes the throne with Nala. and the king. The king joining, presenting the newborn Simba's son to the family, helping him transition from the galaxy where Simba came in the beginning into this plane here, handing him over to the family. The king dressed in that transitional white dress, that celebratory dress of rebirth. Same white dress from the beginning, same white dress during her transition back to the ancestral plane, same white dress ushering in this new spirit into this world in the form of Simba's son. Simba is reborn as king. There's another celebration here, right? And a black man, and a black man's voice contrasted to being lost and not knowing how to navigate in the beginning of the film, declaring what a king is. And you make your own decision. What's a king to you? To him, being a king is taking care of responsibilities and sacrificing to take care of them. What do you give to your children? What do you give to the woman in your home? What do you give to your family, your friends? What do you give? Taking care of your responsibilities, showing up in places that need you, right? Then we end with the big song. Spirit, can't you hear it calling? They should have kept it a cappella. What was that? We see now, Beyonce, we've seen the video 11 times. So I wanted the entire thing a cappella with that choir and the stone reverberating those voices. Hey, yeah, and this wind is talking. Hey, yeah, for the very first time. But the melodies pulls you towards it, and they lost gathered by in your side, singing, rise up to the light in the sky, left a heart in a higher, run away from the night. Oh, come on. Why would you cut off the spirit a cappella for that 5011 video? Mark says, yes, I was into the acapella. Going back into the regular version took me out. Sunita says, this might be left field, but did y'all notice the Laker colors? I didn't. Go ahead and expand, baby. Because I know for a lot of religions, purple represents royalty. But I don't know if I associate it with Lakers. CJ says, I like that she ended back in the choir. Yeah. Because you're going to have to bring us back there. But I want to hear the big part. I want to hear the big note a cappella. Maybe she's going to release it as a single or something. You know, she always got a trick up her sleeve. It'd be layers of tricks up her sleeve. Ladies and gentlemen, and my thadies and gentle thems, I want to thank you for joining the dissection of Black is King. You know I love having you here every Sunday. I want to welcome my new patrons. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for investing your energy, your time, your opinions, your ideas. Thank you for celebrating with me. I stand the film. I stand you. I stand myself. Such a good time with you guys. The circle of life, man. And it's all rebirths. It's a cycle of rebirths and discoveries and reconnection from where you came. I send you off into your Sunday and into your weeks full of value, of abundance, of blessings. Put your crown on, pick that neck up. How dare you sulk and look down and doubt yourself? How dare you? You come from the stars and the galaxy and the craft of the universe, making you a reflection of itself in all perfection. How dare you doubt yourself? The disrespect, it's a disrespect for me. It's a disrespect for me. Thank you guys. Happy Sunday.